Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Magic Arena Run. Today it's Midweek Madness, and you know what, I still have a problem. I still tend to slur that one. Tend to switch it to Midweek something. Anyway, Midweek Magic. I actually got that wrong too. Anyway, so it's Historic Artisan this time. Last week it was all Pauper. This time you get access to uncommons, and I still don't have quite that many cards. I don't exactly play that much Jumpstart, but we're going to be testing out this one because we have a lot of cards that already exist quite well. So you only need a few cards to fill in. So this one is Historic Artisan Shamans. It's basically mono red. The only reason you're seeing a green symbol is because of the Burning Tree Emissary. But for the most part, it's all Shamans all the way. Well, it's all Shamans all the way, but let's go over the primary ones. Number one main reason to run it would be is Rage Forger. Basically, enters the battlefield, puts a +1/+1 counter on each other shaman creature you control, and whenever a creature you control with a +1/+1 counter and attacks, that creature deals 1 damage to target player or planeswalker. Very important as a way to ping opponents down, get in for those last bits of damage. It's kind of like Cavalcade of Calamity, except you're restricted to having this guy in the battlefield and you're restricted to shamans, but almost everything we have here is a shaman. I guess the one exception we have here is Young Pyromancer, or more specifically the tokens that Young Pyromancer makes. We can easily go wide with Young Pyromancer at this rate. We have quite a good number of instants and sorceries here. So our removal package, 4 Unholy Heat, 3 copies of Frostbite, so that's a lot of initial removal. We have a few copies of Careless Celebrant, kind of access removal. It's also a very decent shaman as a beater as well. Also because we want to have enough 2-drops to follow up with Burning Tree Emissary. We have 2 copies of Reckless Charge. Get the sorcery on the graveyard. 2 copies of Red Cap Melee. It's a good way to get extra lands in the graveyard as well. The reason I'm mentioning lands is because Unholy Heat, you kind of want Delirium against a bigger deck. Also, Dragon's Rage Channeler really benefits from Delirium if you can. We have Light Up the Stage as our card draw. I actually haven't tested this one. I've been testing one with just more removals, but so far that worked fine. I've slipped in a Singleton Goblin Oriflame just to have an enchantment. We also have 2 copies of Claim the Firstborn because generally the format's fast enough. And the one card I haven't actually tested that well, Weaver of Lightning, basically a way to get some extra removal, but this might be on the weaker side. I might end up just cutting it, say for back to another Careless Celebrant, fill out the more important drops. That said, I will also mention here that if you're seeing a lot of control, another thing you can do is sub out the Frostbites for another removal, but one that can hit any target. So something like, say, well, we don't get Lightning Bolt. I guess you can go Shock, you can go Lightning Strike, you can go Skewer the Critics if you're confident you can get some damage through. You can likewise also run Lightning Axe if you're expecting larger cards here. And the reason I mentioned that is because maybe instead of running the Frostbite, you can run a Ramen Up Ruins package instead of Forgotten Caves, Desert of the Fervent, or even the Sunscorched Desert. There are many flavors we can do with this. It is still mono red for the most part, but it's a very solid one at that. So haven't exactly seen many control decks, but the thing is we want to be fast. We're running about 22 lands, which might still be quite slow here. So we got triple Young Pyromancer, but we have a single Red Cap Melee to go with it. We might draw in 2 more cards. We definitely want to. I'm gonna keep this one just as just to try it out, but this is super sketchy. Opponent takes a mulligan. Most likely I just run out the Forgotten Cave. Opponent mulligans again. Okay. Okay, Dragon sleeps tonight. I guess in an event like this where the stakes are not very, so we're gonna just run this out. Yeah, really slow at all that. I might just run out Young Pyromancer into Young Pyromancer. Opponent's going Aegis Turtle. Oh. So it looks like we might be saving the red cap melees for now, but which means we do have to go really wide. This could easily be a toughness based deck. Could also just be mill. It's looking like mill, but it looks like our opponent also. Oof. Okay. Opponent actually running high alert. I figured that much. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, we can take it. The trick is that there's no trampled yet. So with that in mind, we don't want to go to zero land territory. But now we kind of have blockers for days, which is pretty much the plan. Our opponent can also just choose to hang back, in which case we go for the Dragon's Rage Channeler. We act. Oh, opponent's going aggro, which makes perfect sense. I don't. So at least our opponent didn't go mill. No, they do have mill. Okay, now we kind of wish we held that up. So land sorcery, we might need to give up a creature. Yeah, we're probably gonna give up a young Pyromancer here, just to get them DRC up and flying. It'll also. It enables our Unholy Heat as well. Aegis Turtle. Yeah, okay, we hit another. Yeah, because attacks each combat enables, so technically can block. I might prefer another land here. Hard to say. Yeah, because I'm about to sacrifice a land. Yeah. Might as well go down to 1 here. We probably are gonna lose it. Well, we milled those out, so probably don't want that. We're forced to attack, but we can. Hold on. Oh, because we don't have enough lands. Okay. So yeah, that's good game here. That's actually a very decent build. Also, kudos to our opponent for going very quick on the aggro there. We kept a very sketchy few lander. We could have easily. Maybe we could have held up long enough so we could. We could have dropped our other young Pyromancer and just kept going wide long enough. That would have been a plan. So the red cap melee makes sense. The Unholy Heat works. The Frostbite is It works when you have enough lands, but in that one case we did not. Claim the Firstborn would have been fine. Okay. We'll keep this one, because we can at least Unholy Heat an early drop if we have to. Next turn we just probably drop the Young Pyromancer if we feel bad about it. Yeah, the Weaver of Lightning's starting to feel really bad as well. Technically, we don't have to play it now. Actually, no. I do want to play it now because a lot of our spells require red mana, so I might as well just play it now. And yeah, no point in playing any of these at this point. Sorry, just keeping a hand full of removal. If our opponent has removal of their own, that's fine, I guess. Exile Kite's a bit sad. We'll play Weaver of Lightning. And Reckless Charge. It looks like our opponent, I'm actually curious what did our opponent have that they quit that fast, but that's also kind of why I'm having a hard time testing this deck. It's possible our opponent might have been a sort of go wide deck relying on draw second spell. That would probably explain it. It's also kind of why, as much as possible, I like to run monocolor in Pauper and Artisan. So finally, the opposite problem, which is also probably which is also maybe why Frostbite might not be the best thing, since Transcendent Envoy. We'll do Frostbite first because it's easier for us to trigger Unholy Heat. We're going for this because it gives our opponent. It puts 2 cards in the yard. It might make our opponent drop a third card. Sentinel's Eyes, boosting it. Interesting. Now I can swing with Careless Celebrant. Then we can just Unholy Heat and because our opponent can block this one, I'm perfectly fine with that. It allows us to save our Unholy Heat. I'm holding back on claim. Opponent's not gonna give, so Unholy Heat. Weaver does the third extra point. And our... Wow. It looks like a lot of our opponents are playing, well, yeah, very vulnerable. Our deck could be classified as a combo deck as well, though I would say that it does have a lot of resiliency. I would say our big nemesis is still control decks, especially the blue-black ones that rely on certain 4-mana enchantments. That one's still kind of our Waterloo. We might be able to go fast enough, but they probably run even more removal than I do. Okay, this one, yeah. Now we're getting the four land hands. This one's also kind of sketch. Like, I so want to just play Young Pyromancer, Getting all the Young Pyromancers. I guess I'm gonna play all of them. Our opponent might go for the kill on this one. You know what? That's fine. Wait, blue-green. Asmina's Transformation. That's fine. It makes this into... It's still a human shaman, actually. I still want to play this now, but I think the safer bet is to just play this one. Since we're kind of going wide, that's basically the plan. I might say with the preferred mystical subdual over Kasmina's transformation, but if it works, it works, I guess. So now we are heavily incentivized to gonna be so many trick. The Yume is always a problem. Now let's see how our opponent gets out of this, considering they're not exactly in the best removal colors. They could probably just nuke the Rage Forger. It will lose abilities as a result. Falcon Seer, so 7654. Gain some life with emergency. Kasmina's transformation, so well, it's essentially still the same. Our opponent would be giving up quite a bit of board equity for this. Yeah, that one felt very slow. I think our opponent will be looking for earlier drop. They need to find a better alternative for Kasmina's transmutation. Actually, advice for our opponents, if by chance they do watch this one. There is a better card than Kasmina's. Actually, it depends, because you're playing it so early, and you're probably better off with mystical subdual. I get the idea of that. If your opponent has a really big drop, it really just transforms it down to a 1/1. I would not be surprised if our opponent had any combination of that. Otherwise, they might have been better off with something like a Ray of Frost. That the size wouldn't matter if they can't attack anyway. That's probably another possibility to consider. So we actually got quite a few games in, and it's only been like less than 20 minutes. So I guess we can say that if all else fails, this deck goes through really fast. So having a lot of early concessions helps too. So okay, this one's super sketchy, but I will keep this one. We can Burning Tree Emissary, Reckless Charge. We will be left up with the green mana, which is sad, so we can't light up. Alternately, we can wait one more turn before we go through that entire sequence, depending on what our opponent has. Johnny's welcome. Yeah, a bit sad, but get the early hit in. Our opponent might have something, so a Johnny's Pride Mate, so it becomes a 3/3. So we can do Rage Forger. Now the trick is we're basically setting up for the next turn if our opponent doesn't have any removal. Now preferably we'd have another land. Opponent goes Healer's Hawk. Okay, opponent goes aggro, which might be a mistake. We did hit our other land. Oh, I so want to play Young Pyromancer here, but we'll hold because we have even more damage coming in. And with double Rage Forger, that's 4 damage off the bat. And isn't that better than Cavalcade? Our opponent's probably forced to block at this point. Okay, so next turn we actually have... Oh, we have so many options here. Opponent knows that... And the opponent knows we have to claim the Firstborn. opponent probably does not want to swing, but it's kind of over for them. Yep, and there you go. With that, we even outpaced life gain. So yeah, apologies for saying that was a sketchy one. Having the early draw, having the light up the stage really helped. And wow, we're only just over 20 minutes right now. I think we probably will do about we'll probably get as close to the 30-minute mark as we can, and then we can call this one. So yeah, we're keeping this one. Turn 1 DRC. Oh, I think this is the same opponent. Same opponent, but they have a different start. So turn 2, depending what our opponent. If they drop a or Skyfisher, which okay, we can't exactly. So we actually have options here. I can swing a Dragon's Rage Channeler, play the Unholy Heat. You know. Let's see if I think our opponent is willing to block this one. I guess we can wait a turn. Let's see, our opponent probably plays something else, or if they don't replay the Traben Inspector. Actually, no. I'm not so sure if this is the same opponent or not. Feast of Ancient Lore. Let's see if our opponent actually swings. No, they're not gonna swing, which I would say is quite smart. Yeah, we're definitely keeping that up top. We could actually cycle it to just kill this Core Skyfisher now. Like, we're gonna swing with the Celebrant. We'll see how it goes. Opponent's just gonna take it, which is fine because it allows us to light up the stage and get our Frostbite that way. We will keep that up top. I think we'll also keep the Young Pyromancer up top. So that gives us Sorcery and Instant. When it goes Soul Warden, yeah, this is still the right game. Now we can actually borrow that. I'm actually tempted to just block this one so we can get a creature in the graveyard. And next turn we can cycle. That gets a land. And I think I want to play the Young Pyromancer here. And we have a Claim the Firstborn, we might as well use it. We'll let that resolve so our opponent grows that for us to get first dibs. Opponent takes the hit. We can, I don't know if we might actually be out of range to, yeah, we're gonna be out of range for Unholy Heat. So the plan is probably just to Unholy Heat, say, the Pride Mate, and just keep chump blocking the Unicorn. Yeah, we can still hit the Pride Mate. That's the good news. That's a really large Unicorn, I would say, but it's not. So I'm actually going to play the Dragon's Rage Channeler first. Hold on. I think I goofed up there. We need to kill this now. Yeah, we have... Okay, we probably don't want another of that. Yeah. Yeah, before that gets out of hand. We can just play Burning Tree Emissary just to get another extra creature in the yard. Yeah, we're giving them quite a bit of life, which is an issue. So we will swing with the Careless Celebrant. See how our opponent blocks. Nope, opponent not gonna block. Opponent drops Priest of Ancient Lore, but with only just a Unicorn. Maybe I do want another Claim the Firstborn. Actually, there are other probably should also consider maybe sniping. Maybe sniping the Soul Warden. One's gonna have so much card draw, it's not funny. We can. Yeah, we're gonna flashback. Oh, it gains them another life, but yeah, let's flashback up. Yeah, it also helps us get rid of. It's kind of like cycling in that sense. Yeah, but now we're being... And our opponent's going to start drawing into more creatures. Impassioned Orator. Opponent finally swings with that, which I'm actually more than happy with. But we need to start hitting cards that are not lands. Oh wow, we just hit a huge land glut. So we're gonna start giving up smaller creatures. Although now that's said and done, we can actually give up the Careless Celebrant to probably snipe the Orator this. Oh nope, they're gonna banish that. Nice. Oh, and they have another Banishing Light. Wow. So, in order to not die, we have to play this one. But yeah, our opponent managed to draw everything. Also, 3 lands in a. And that's good game. We kind of drew ourselves into a pickle. Might be an argument for cutting even more lands, but I digress on that one. I think it's a better argument for switching out the Frostbite package and switching into Desert Ramunap Ruins package instead. That's probably a better argument. I'll leave that as an exercise for the viewer. We'll actually do one more game here. We have a little bit of time. Let's see if we hit the same opponent again. Actually, no, I don't. But yeah, the mono white build probably makes more sense than going white-black there. So, yeah, this one's a keep. We got DRC. Hopefully we can hit another 2-drop. Maybe what we can do is shift towards more 2-drops so that the Burning Tree Emissaries don't feel like a 2 into a 1. Another possibility would be adding actual green cards, or maybe actually even artifacts would be a consideration here. What artifacts would I add if ever? Ginger Brute would be interesting, but not exactly a shaman. Kind of hard to say. Yeah, but definitely the first play here is some DRC into Burning Tree. If nothing good comes out, I might just cycle. I really would prefer to have more 2-drops, I guess. That's probably why I had the full playset of Careless Celebrants, but those are kind of on the weaker end there, I would say. Actually, I wanted, while we're waiting on our opponent, what are the other shamans we could possibly add here? Oh, I'm actually concerned that it might be us who's This is gonna be this is gonna be very awkward if this is how we're ending the video with someone just timing out. Now it could happen. I'm not. So let's see, format. You can't actually search for artisan. What you can't on gatherers, which is an issue. Actually, I could grab my phone and just use Okay, opponent kept the hand. I think it's not so much our opponent kept the hand as our opponent quit. That would have been a forced keep there. But who knows? Maybe our opponent might come back. So what are we looking at? Rarity and so we're looking at common and uncommon. The hard part is I'm searching through. Okay, subtype would be shaman. Actually, if we do include actual green, changelings would be an option as well. Yeah, our opponent's off the grid. So I guess this episode is gonna at this rate this episode is gonna end on a whimper. Who knows? Our opponent might come back and make a big and have this huge comeback here. Oh no, they just never came back. Well, that sad way to end the half hour, but that's pretty much it for this deck. There is room for other changes, I would suppose, but for now this is pretty much how I would build it. That's gonna be it for this episode of the Magic Arena Run. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, turn on notifications and whatnot. Do let me know what are you running for Historic Artisan. Basically with Jumpstart Historic Horizons, Historic Pauper, Historic Artisan, Historic Brawl, and even Historic in general, although that one less so. They've all been pretty much blown wide open. I say Historic Brawl less so, Historic Proper less so because of a few certain combos, but everything else seems kind of wide open at this point. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you guys again next time. Take care, God bless, stay safe wherever you are. Have a great week, everyone.